Hello, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night. I'm hoping to record the rest of the rest of the route in this session, because it will be more than one video. With that being said, let us get right into it. It hurts. The sound of my ragged breathing fills my ears. My fever is so hot it would burn anyone who touched me. It feels like my brain is melting and oozing right out of my skull. It's like everything is melted away, but every nerve in my body still screams agony. My mind's burned out. There's a hole in my heart and a void in my stomach. I want to vomit, but there's nothing left of me. The twisted feeling and nausea only grows stronger from my inability to vomit. All I can do is bite down on the pain. Somehow, in spite of it all, I still cling to consciousness. Pain is an old friend. I know how to endure it. Go back. The voices don't stop. They fill every corner of the emptiness left in me after the pain has burned everything else out. I know who those voices belong to. It hurts. I'm going mad. With each outgo, a stabbing pain shoots through my chest. I'm not afraid. I just have no answer, no way to respond, no way to make it right. They beg and plead and cry, but there's nothing I can do. I so desperately want to help, but I can't. I can't even ask them to stop. No matter how much they beg, I can't respond, I'm sure. I really go mad if this doesn't stop. Return. They repeat it again and again and again, and I can't do anything about it. All I can do is give them an end. All I can do is fix this paradox of life and death. All I can do is punish the architect of this hell. And I can't reverse all the sadness and death. That's my limit. A champion of justice is someone who can only clean up a mess that's already been made. You'll never be able to save the very people you're hoping to save. I said that again. I refuse to believe it, but now I'm being confronted with that very truth. I want to get out of here. I can't save them. I can't do anything but take it in. I have nothing to give back. No miracle to grant. I'm not strong enough to defy this word, saying that a champion of justice can only go so far. But if I did have a miracle at the ready, would I?
Kitaka. Sora. 目を覚ませエミヤシロ。お前のサーバントがやってきたぞ。
I hear a voice right behind me, but I can't make out what it is saying. My vision is blurry. I can't make out what's in front of me either. There are only the voices crying out for help. There is only a room choked with the bodies of those who have died.
よくやっているが、やはりセーバーにはかなわぬか。どちらにせよ、あと一人分のサーバントは必要なのだ。それがセーバーであろうとランサーであろうと構わないのだが、その前に選定をしなくてはなるまい。
I can't hear the words, but his voice echoes in my head.
さて、出番だ。もう少し前に行こうか、エミヤシロウ。
Something pulls my head upward. He grabs me by the back of my head and drags me forward. I can feel who it is now. This man has been consumed by the darkness. His heart is to ash and he's draped in shadow. This corruption creeps into him and it has tethered itself to him. I don't know what has happened, but I do know this man, Kodamine Kile, is like me, who suffered a fatal wound but somehow still remains in the world. As Saber's power lets me regenerate, Kodamine Kile preserves his body with this darkness.
そこまでだ、セイバー。斧が主を救いたいのならば、その剣を収めるがいい。
What's going on? I still can't make out what's going on. I can't even lift my own
ラン
head.
サーも引け。もともと私たちは聖杯を求める同志ではないか。そうむやみに殺し合いなどするものではないぞ。セイバーがこの男を引き取りに来ただけというのならば、喜んで引き渡そう。
He laughs ominously.
それを信じろというのですか。ランサーのマスターを殺し、今また私のマスターをその手にかけようとする貴様の言葉を信じろと。
Who is that? I can't tell, but this is like the sound of a tuning bell. The voice helps refocus my
信
mind.
じたまえ。私はお前たちと争う気はない。季節してこのような形になってしまったが、お前たちが聖杯を取ろうというのなら邪魔はしない。もとより、私の役割は聖杯の持ち主を見極めることだ。ここまで残ったお前たちには、十分すぎるほど資格がある。故に望むのならば今ここで聖杯を与えてやってもよいのだが
こに聖杯があるというのか、貴様は。
あるとも。聖杯はどこにでもある。聖杯とはもとより形のない器だ。いつどこで何に呼び出すかによって完成度が変わるのだが、呼び出すだけならこの土地にも資格はある。無論サーバントが残り一人にならなければ聖杯は未完成だが、その出来でも大抵の願いは叶えられるだろう。それで満足がいかぬのならば、その時こそ最後の殺し合いを始めればよい。いや、私としては気乗りがしないが、お前たちが望むのならば付き合おう。決着をつけるのはその時でいいのではないかな、ランサ
ー。よくはね、そんな回りくどいことをする必要はない。白黒つけるなら今すぐできるだろ
う。この状況でか。室内ではお前には不利だろうし、セイバーとて主が気になって戦えまい。これではお前にとって満足のいく戦いとは言えないが。
You're at a disadvantage, Lancer, because sabers are effective against lances. Then again, I am applying RPG logic from later installments into a visual novel. Someone spits. The other man must have
う。
given
いい
it.
さ。なら一つ聞かせろ。聖杯ってのは何だ。あれは残り一人にならなければ現れないものじゃなかったのか。俺たちを呼んだ連中は初めからペテンにかけてたってことか。
いや、事実ではある。聖杯はサーバントが残り一人にならなければ現れない。だが聖杯を下ろす器は別だ。あれは初めから形あるものとして用意され、聖杯召喚の時まで力を流し込まれていく。残るサーバントがあと二人だけという状況ならば、すでに聖杯としての力を持ち始めていよう。そうであろう、セイバー。お前とて前回最後まで残ったサーバントだ。アインツベルンの用意した聖杯がどんなものか、うすうす分かっているのではないか。そう、聖杯は常にここにあり、生贄の地で満つる時を待つ。だがそれは虚しいとは思わないか。何も残り一人になるまで付き合うことはない。お前たちの望みを叶えるだけならば今の状態でも可能だろう。ならばここで意味のない摂取をすることもあるまい。
そうですね。確かに貴様の言い分は正しい。だがだとしたら貴様は何者だ。貴様の目的は。
私は選定役だと言っただろう。ふさわしい人間がいるのならば喜んで聖杯は譲る。そのためにまずはお前の言葉を聞きたいのだ、エミやシロ。
I'm moving. Someone grabs my head and jerks me up. It hurts. Wound in my chest picks up and the world goes white with pain.
案ずるな。ただ返事を聞くだけだ。聖杯は求めるものにのみ答える。己のマスターが聖杯にふさわしいかどうか、お前とて興味はあろう。
それは無駄だ。シローは聖杯を欲しがらない。私のマスターはお前のようなゲスではない。
ああ、この男は初めからそう言っていた。だがそれは本心ではあるまい。あらゆる人間に闇があるよう、この男にも影はある。例えばそう、10年前のあの日、この少年は本当に何も恨まなかったのか。その先にあったものを忘れることで振り払っているのではないか。
Oh, wait. What the hell is he talking about? The fire 10 years ago has nothing to do with this. That's what you think. This is meaningless. There's nothing
その
here.
傷を切開する。さあ、懺悔の時だ。エミやシロ。
My body buckles. Pain shoots down my spine like lightning. In its wake, I feel my mind separating from my body. My vision goes red. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. There's nothing here. Remembering, this saves no one. Everyone died. All of them. I was the only one left, lost amidst the flames. Ashen corpses beneath smoldering rubble, crying out from every direction. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I alone continued on. I needed help. I needed someone to save me. I kept on, never once looking down. Stop. The entire time, there were others calling out for help the moment they saw someone still moving. Help, 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 help. I knew, of course I knew. I pushed through anyway. I turned my back on those voices. I turned my back on the sounds of all those trying so frantically to escape. I turned my back on those pleading not to die. I turned my back on mothers begging me to take the children. I turned my back on the dying gaze of those too weak to ask for help. I kept pushing forward, alone, desperate for someone to save me. Wait. I couldn't stand seeing their bodies. I couldn't stand seeing people suffer and die. I wasn't sure I couldn't save them. I was sure they'd die no matter what I did, so I kept pushing on. Give it back. That's why I never stopped, though I had to live, even if just for another second. If people died without being able to do anything, so long as I could make it, I thought I had to live. Stop. But I was destroyed in the process. I held back tears and pushed on. I sought escape, and each step was harder than the last as I ignored every plea for help. It would have been easier to go on if I'd asked for forgiveness, so I never did. Maybe it was the only way I could own up to the truth that I was actually helpless to do anything. Stop. Just as I wished, I alone was saved. The only other children at the hospital were those who had been in areas near the fire. I didn't need to know, but the man in the white coat told me anyway. In the depths of those flames, I alone survived. I bore witness to those so much death and pain. I bore witness to endless sorrow. So many died that they had to hold mass funerals. I bore witness to so much grief, to so many different sentiments for the dead. I thought, I thought I had to remember all of it. I had to. So many wanted help, and not one of them got their wish. And since my wish was granted, it followed that I should take on the weight of their deaths. No, I had to. I couldn't go on if I didn't. Return. That's why I desperately tried to follow in Kiritsugu's steps. For those I couldn't save, for all I couldn't do, I looked to a hero who could be a savior. Everything I once was fell away when I ignored this cries for help. I kept moving forward, devoid of all reason. And so those I could not save passed on one last lesson. Go on. I was lost in all that. All I thought was going through on behalf of the dead. I took all the memories I had before that and locked them away, never to think of them again. The kindness of neighbors, being with my parents, I sealed all that up so I'd never think about it again, as if I were already dead. Don't open it up. I was no longer in pain. Emiya Kiritsugu adopted me and I was finally happy, and that's
それを間違いだと思ったことが一度もなかったというのかね。
You don't open it. Agony and pain, pure agony rips through my chest and drives me back to reality. The nausea simply doesn't end. My arms and legs are numb, my head bends, I can't breathe. Their voices continue echoing in my mind. I vomit blood. Was that because I'm on the brink of death, or because my psyche can't endure the voice anymore? My chest hurts, my heart hurts. It hurts so much, but I can't contain it. The wound deep inside me is the source of the pain. It will continue to hurt as long as I have those memories. It will swell up and never heal. I'm seeing things from what I think I see her, but no, she shouldn't be here. Bite down on the pain. Begging for death is no longer enough. Even if she's just some dying king, I can't let her see me like this. She has to think of me.
深い傷だ。これでは癒されぬままでは苦しかろう。エミヤシロ。お前はそのままで一生を終えるべきではない。
I can make out the priest's voice. It doesn't sound like him. It's too warm, too
お前は
compassionate.
聖杯などいらぬと言ったな。 だがどうだ。仮に10年前の出来事をやり直せるとしたら、お前は聖杯を欲するのではないか。あの出来事で失われたもの全てを救うのだ。あの事故をなくし、エミやキリツグなどにかかわらず、それこそがお前自身を救う唯一の方法ではないのかな。
Undo what happened 10 years ago? Remake the person I am now who survived at the cost of everyone else that day? No, even beyond that, if I could make everything happen as if it never happened, no one would be hurt. Why would I? I shake my head. Fevered as I am and completely unable to think, I still reject the idea and the images it raises. I curse this very weakness because there... The voices echo in my head. My fingers desperately claw at the wet floor. Every single one of them cries out that they want to go back. And I wanted that too, even if my life was nowhere near as horrific as theirs. After Kintsugu adopted me, I still returned to that empty field many times. I still returned, though there was nothing there. I opened a front door that no longer existed. I walked halls that had burnt ash years before, and I smiled at my departed mother. I wanted to go back to before it all disappeared, and wait for dawn to come and wake me from this nightmare. No such miracle happened. Instead, I was left with this painful reality. But if I could live in a world where that never happened, where nobody was hurt, surely
答えよ。お前が望むのならば、聖杯を与えよう。
The priest with the miraculous chalice off makes his offer. Protect. These voices will go away if I wish for it. Orphan children, if fate had taken even a slightly different turn, I would be here with them. I shouldn't even need to think about it. I shouldn't need to. So why? I can't wish for that. I face the corpses. As I refuse, I grip my teeth. My response is to deny them. Whatever the Holy Grail is, I'm not going to wish the dead return or to change the past. You can't change the past. The dead won't come back. What's done is done. I can't wish for that. Tears sting my cheeks. I scream to the wall that a miracle is impossible, and every time my own conclusion makes me cry. Why is the miracle of wanting ordinary happiness too much to ask for?
それを可能とするのが聖杯だ。万物すべて君の望むままとなる。
He sounds confounded more than anything. So he claims, but I can't agree. Even if I could change the past, I shouldn't. I can't. If I do, everything becomes a lie. Every tear, all that agony, the memory of what was, even that cold reality, wretched as it is in my heart. Everyone who died screaming in agony, everyone who risked their lives to help another, everyone who mourned the fallen. If I were to just make it as though none of that happened, where would all of that go? What would I be doing to them? The dead wouldn't return. Reality can't be overturned. To continue onward, bearing the weight of all that pain, isn't that the very mark that proves something was there once? Everyone dies eventually, and sorrow fills the void they leave behind. But pain isn't the only thing left behind. It's the suffering that makes the goodness shine all the brighter. Those deaths, they shape me. My memories of Kintsugu protect me, and those memories form the path that eventually intertwines with others, even though all of that will eventually be forgotten. This path isn't wrong.
つまり、お前は
I don't need the Holy Grail. I can't stray from this path. For all those who left behind, who laid it. I speak firmly, even from the depths of this torment. Willing myself to hold on to this conscious thought, I force myself to remain upright. It's then I realize I can't hear the voices. They're not echoing in my head anymore. I wonder what they thought of my answer. Though whatever they may have thought, I think it said that they seemed to accept it without any resentment. That is the answer her master arrived at. Her anger dissolves. All she can do is say to her master, her words dying on her lips. This path. Everything about me, I don't believe it's wrong. Despite his maimed body, as he struggles even to breathe, as he sheds the tears of one so horribly grieved. I can't stray from this path for all those who were left behind, who laid it, apologizing to those who must climb over but unwavering in his chosen path. Her vision wavers, her breath quivers, she knows his history. Just as she saw visions of her past, so she saw his. She was certain he would agree. No, she thought he had. She meant to say, it's not your fault, but the words died on her lips. If only he could hear it, she wanted to tell him she would not have to carry that weight. But he denies even that, no matter how tragic the past, one cannot undo it. Her legs nearly give out beneath her. His words are a greater weight than even she can bear. To swear an oath and single-mindedly devote everything to carrying it out, she believed they were similar. How conceited. That was her greatest mistake. They were nothing alike. His resolve was so strong. And she, who could not even believe his words, was weak.
自らの救いではなく 自らの願いを取ったか。
The priest releases the boy. He steps over the youth with a sneer as if he's lost
ではお
interest.
前はどうだセイバー。小僧は聖杯などいらぬという。だがお前は違うのではないか。お前の目的は聖杯による世界の救済だ。よもや英霊であるお前まで小僧のようにエゴはかざすまい。
She feels her sense of reason is being imperiled. The priest says he will give her the grail. He will give her what she desires, her wish granted. She has no reason to refuse. That is the miracle she's been fighting for. That is the very reason she became a seven. What Shirou said has no bearing on her own concerns. To obtain the holy grail, she, Saber, the hero of the sword.
では交換条件だ。セイバー。斧が目的のため、その手で自らのマスターを殺せ。その暁には聖杯を与えよう。
I decided I would do anything for it. His words blindsided her. She doesn't even know what to think. The priest's words, while easy to understand, are anathema to everything she believes in and stands for.
どうした？迷うことはあるまい。今の小僧ならば、死んだということにも気がつかないうちに殺せるぞ。第一、もはや助からない命だ。ここでお前が引導を渡してやるのも情けではないかな。
The priest steps aside. Before her stands a door leading to the crypt and to her master. She steps into the damp room, past the priest. She can't help herself. It's as if she stepped into the depths of hell. He was made to suffer in this place to witness his own darkness, but he refuses salvation he was offered. She grips her sword. He lays at her feet, breathing raggedly. It would be the end of a long, long journey. The holy grail she desires in exchange for her life. All she must do is swing her sword but one final time. Master and servant are united only until they obtain the grail. She could end it right here.
どうした？何をためらう？聖杯と引き換えなのだぞ。交換条件としては破格だと思うのだが。
The priest's words ring true. For her to hesitate now would be the height of hypocrisy. Even so, this path isn't wrong. His words refuse to leave her mind.
私
They would discuss her. She knows she's nothing like Shirou. She wants to upend everything. That day so long ago, there must have been someone who would have drawn the sword from the stone and been a bitter king. There must have been someone who could have built a true utopia. That's the problem with utopias. They're idyllic. The world does not conform to ideals. There will always be someone. The heart that loved her nation so dearly, and the young woman's doubts before she took the sword. On that day, she tried to fully and forever abandon her heart the day she drew the sword. How did she not realize this before? I can't stray from this path for all those who were left behind, who laid it. To her, that is the girl who left her country, the girl named Artoria before she was crowned. That was not a kingly heart. A king could only believe in themselves. To deny that would be to deny everything she gave up. What is lost cannot be returned. Her master insisted on this, even as he suffered. His pained expression alone makes her heart ache. What was it she had said? She could not start over. It was her duty as the king, so she refused over and over. What duty? To resurrect her lost nation? To select a more capable king? Or was it the wish for all the death and destruction to have never happened to begin with?
それは違う
That was a mistake. She was raised to be king. That is how she lived. And that there was no flaw. But if that led to ruination, why could she not accept it? She had no regrets. If she could take pride in the way she lived her life, wishing for another chance was a pointless
そういう
waste.
ことなのですねシロ
And so his anguished cries finally reached her heart. All the tears, all the pain, even a broken heart. Salvation could come from destroying all of it. But if it was undone, what would happen to everything swept aside in the undoing? I have stolen much from many, even their very lives. All that pain and regret his mind to bear belongs to me. If I were to wish for a chance at something, it should be for a miracle in the here and now, not to upend the past. Each of the countless paths not taken before cannot be taken by sacrificing this one. Instead, I should forge ahead and work to fulfill what hopes have yet to come true even to this day. If she is nationless and uncrowned now, perhaps her wish should be for herself. No, she could not make a wish like that either. She chose to take up the crown. She never suffered for that decision, not once. Even if no one understood or accepted her, that choice itself was her pride and joy. At the very least, she truly believed that when she drew the sword from the stone, that is her answer. Just as he found something to stand by, so too has she. She pledged once, so long ago, something she swore to herself. She would fight, even if she loses everything, even if everyone in the world hates her.
私が愚かだった。
An oath from a king, a promise to fight against all odds. And so the king protected our country, but the country did not protect the king. And so it was. The ending may have been tragic, but if she was no longer ashamed of the path that led
求め
there,
る必要などなかった。
she fulfilled her duty as king. It led to her, but she saw everything through to the end. There need be nothing else. Of course, I did not want everything. The only thing I ever wanted from the very start. I did until the very end, even if it meant losing so much along the way. I will keep this unattainable truth deep within my heart. It may now end.
聖杯は欲しい。けれど、シローは殺せない。
She turns her sword on her enemy.
なんだと。
わからぬかゲロー。そのようなものより、私はシローが欲しいと言ったのだ。
And that's why my role is set. I will be his sword. I will shield him from danger. All hesitation leaves him.
聖杯はいらぬというのか、セイバー。
聖杯が私を汚すものならばいらない。私が欲しかったものは、もうすべて揃っていたのだから。
Yes, she has everything she needs with her now. Her pride as a knight, her promise as a king, even the precious dream of that young girl once held.